Hello! Today we're playing Your Future Self. This is a little game I got off of itch.io, and we're gonna play it. It did have a seizure warning, so that is your warning if you have the possibility of having a seizure not to watch. Let's get into it. Hey! Hey. You! Yes, me. Me? Are you there? I would assume so. Good. Listen carefully. Okay, I'm listening. I'm reading very carefully. You are directly responsible for the deaths of thousands of people. Oh, that's news to me. You're probably confused because from your perspective, these events haven't happened yet. How could you possibly be held responsible for something you haven't done? Well, assuming that has to do with my future self. Well, in 35 years, your future self will commit these acts, and your future self is you. You are both part of a single continuous chronological entity. As such, the responsibility for your future crimes also lies with you. Okay. You're probably wondering where you are. I've placed you in a temporary bubble outside of time. You will be sharing this bubble with your future self, brought here from 35 years in the future. Ooh, spooky. You are to convince your future self of the wrongness of their actions. If you can do this, you will alter your own time stream, changing your own destiny and stopping your actions before they can occur. Okay, that makes sense. Only then will you be exonerated of your crimes. There is a limitation of technology used to hold you in this bubble. Time will flow normally for you, but it will appear to loop every 90 minutes. Okay? Until you can persuade your future self that their actions were wrong, the loop will continue infinitely. Oh. If you succeed, you will sever the causal chain linking you and your... If you succeed, you will sever the causal chain linking you and your future self and alter your destiny. Before responding to anything, your future self says to you, think carefully. Okay? I will be so careful. They will have certain moods. They won't always be receptive to the way you respond to them. Think carefully about your tone and your confidence in your conversational abilities. Oh. Okay. Your conversational skill, your future self's mood, and your chosen tone will determine how well they receive what you have to say. If you want to be free, make sure you are as convincing as you can be. Think carefully, think strategically. And good luck. Oh yeah, I'm gonna play 5D chess against myself. It's gonna be great. Very sparky. Ooh. Wow, they were actually telling the truth. This is really happening. Okay, so 10 rationality. I got 5. 8 versus 12. 7 assertive versus 9. Okay, so current receptiveness. Rationality moderate. Empathy. Assertive very low. Okay. Well, look at you! Just as I remember, so fresh-faced and naive. It's got good music. You have no idea what I've seen. You have absolutely no idea what's ahead of you. I sure don't. That's generally how time works. I'm almost looking forward to hearing what you have to say, but believe me, I stand behind what I did completely. I don't know what you're planning to say to change my mind, but it won't work. rationally right now. Well, this is strange. Logically, I can only assume I'm either in a simulation or hallucination, in which case, asking about reality seems rather pointless. Why bother saying any of that if you don't care what I have to say? And anyways, does this feel like a hallucination to you? Okay. Look, I appreciate this is weird, especially for you, but it'd be best for both of us if you could wrap your head around this as quickly as possible. Let's not draw this out any more than we have to. Sounds good to me. Alrighty. Let's go assertive. You might not be interested in having a protracted discussion, but if you were in my position, you'd need some time to adjust to this. Why are you being so terse? What do you know that I don't? Okay, I'm being terse because I wanted to skip the conversation you're apparently forcing us to have. Fine, I'll explain. Time travel was discovered during our lifetime, but it was quickly outlawed by the UN Science Commission. They claimed it was the only choice they had in order to prevent all-out war. Interesting. They were probably right. The worldwide uproar following its announcements was unlike anything I'd ever seen. The ban wasn't difficult to implement, as only a handful of the wealthiest nations on the planet had access to the techno in the first place. But interesting tech should be shared. I mean, it is. I can see it definitely being fucked up for a reason, but I always suspected that the ban was a convenient way for the wealthiest nations to keep time travel hidden and clandestinely use it to their advantage. Yeah, I would believe that. That sounds like me. I've been expecting something like this to happen at some point. That's why I'm not as surprised as you. Oh, thank you for filling me in. Current receptive. Receptiveness, okay. No, that's not new. That's the same thing. Okay. I'm not sure you could have been expecting this, even knowing time travel had been discovered. This seems like a step beyond time travel. Well, no, but I didn't mean something so specific. The idea the governments could be using time travel to control their own people just makes sense to me. Interesting. Think about it. This was probably the most monumental technological achievement ever. Were they just going to lock it up and throw away the key? No, I agree with that. Of course they weren't. It makes sense that governments would lie about a ban to the public so they could use it quietly in the safe confines of their own laboratories. I can agree with that. I wouldn't put it past them to use it on their own citizens to maintain order. People in power regularly stoop to new lows in order to maintain power and control their people. Time travel could just be another weapon in their arsenal of oppression. Well, okay. I can agree with, like, literally, most of this sounds like a paranoid anti-government. That's very much not me. Fuck the government. Most of this sounds like a paranoid anti-government conspiracy theory. Are you sure you're completely of sound mind right now? I would never say that. I feel more sane than I ever have. Quite frankly, I think the fact that you are stuck in a time loop with your future self is proof enough that something is amiss with the official narrative about the time travel ban. That makes sense? Look, The situation is bizarre. Immediately after finding out time travel exists, you've been forced to argue with an older version of yourself. You've not had the time to properly process what's happening. If this had happened to me at your age, I'd probably have had a nervous breakdown. Okay. Let's go with... I haven't done that. Thanks for beginning to understand. There's something odd about this, though. Isn't there? If I'm a younger version of you, then you should have been through this already. Otherwise, this is a paradox. No. Because they said a bubble outside of time. Are you accusing me of lying? What would be the point? No, I have no memory of this, which can only mean one thing. If you're successful in convincing me of my crimes, then you will have changed your own time stream and prevented this version of me from existing. You will live on to be a version of me that behaves differently and doesn't commit the same crime. I will never have existed and I never will exist. That's the point of all this, I think. So what specifically did I do? Like, I know I'm the responsible for the deaths of like thousands of people, but what specifically? That. Oh, is that how much I'm getting them to go? Go with empathetic again. Oh, I'm so sorry. I haven't thought of it that way. So this is kind of a death sentence for you. You can stop treating me with kid gloves. I know full well what could happen. Yeah, I'll die. Well, technically, I'll simply cease to exist. It's not a real death. I'm sure many people would love an instantaneous, painless end to existence. In many ways, I'm actually quite lucky. Man, okay. But stopping me from existing isn't really the point. They could just kill me now if they wanted. Very true, very true. The point is that they want you to understand why my actions were wrong in order to prevent you from doing the same thing. What did that disembodied voice say at the start? We're a single continuous chronological entity. If you can successfully convince me, then you'll have successfully convinced yourself we are one and the same. Yeah, okay. I can see how that makes sense. It's an inventive way of ridding the world of dangerous criminal, without having to imprison or execute anyone. Oh! I guess from their perspective, it makes sense, although I'm not thrilled about it. Oh, I got insight. Insight gained. You know, you've not actually asked me about the details of my alleged crimes yet. We've talked about everything else, except the very reason why you're here. Let's go rationally. I suppose that would shed some light on the situation. Go ahead, tell me what happened. What did you do? It's a little bit late to be polite about it. It doesn't matter. I might as well explain. A few years ago, for me, that is, I was the overseer of a climate refugee camp. One of many the UN set up across the world for people displaced by climate change. Okay? That doesn't sound bad. From what I remember, it hasn't reached breaking point in your time. My time, however, millions of people from poorer countries have been displaced by colossal flooding and destroyed ecosystems, and these camps have become their temporary home. Okay? As you might expect, there's constant bickering by the world's wealthiest countries over who will take the refugees in the long term. All the while, the camps have been expanding exponentially, and no one's sure how the UN is going to keep paying for all of them. My camp had about 40,000 people in it. It was like a small city. Conditions were absolutely terrible. There were times when I felt that they'd have been better off dying than fleeing to this place. Not your choice, though. There was a rampant crime, poverty, corruption, and... Oh, blue. Green. Hello? Hello? Can you hear us? Yes. Who is this? You can hear us. Okay, look, we don't have much time. We've temporarily interrupted the loop. Hopefully they can't detect it. Ooh, interesting. If we get cut off, we'll try again. We'll try and interrupt the loop again, but it might have to wait until the next loop for reasons that are too complicated to explain right now. Okay. Everything they told you at the start is a lie. No, not a lie, but not the whole truth. I'm not surprised. They didn't tell you who they represented, did they? You just told that you needed to... I needed to change their mind. Have you gone? Hello? So... So... They did not mention who they were. They just told me I had to change their mind. But so far everything my person has been saying, my future self has been saying, seems pretty okay. I know they are responsible for the deaths of thousands, but that doesn't explain how though yet. Rebel interference detected. Mandatory loop reset in 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Okay, so that's how I get more points. Nice. Wow, okay. We're not gonna repeat that stuff. Naive. Yes, I'm super naive. No idea what's ahead of you. It won't work. What is this? This isn't real, surely. What the hell's going on? What? Wait, I remember this. We've had this conversation before. I pressure them even though they don't want to talk about it. Why? I'm just wasting time. No, this time will be different. Ooh. Ooh. I'm afraid it is. Sorry, but could you try to calm down? I know this seems ridiculous, but it's absolutely imperative that you keep your cool. Look, I appreciate this is weird, especially for you, but it'd be best for both of us if you could just wrap your head around this as quickly as possible. Let's not draw this out any more than we have to. Okay, I respect your wishes. Let's move on. Oh, okay. I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought you'd be freaking out. Nope, I already had my freak out. In fact, why aren't you freaking out? If this happened to me at your age, I'd have a nervous breakdown. This doesn't make sense. What are you hiding from me? Ooh, green, ooh. This doesn't feel right. Something is wrong. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm making this worse. My future self seems confused. I won't convince them by confusing them. I need to get back on track. Okay. Ooh, I got 4 insight. Dang! Okay, what was I mentioning? What was I talking about? It was about, okay, I respect your wishes. They're very confused. Let's go with empathetically. Thanks for beginning to understand. There's something odd about this, though, isn't there? If I'm a younger version of you, then you should be... Okay. The paradox. Yeah, okay, I remember that. We're gonna skip that. Since we've done that. Okay. Oh, so this is effectively a death sentence for you, isn't it? Well, that's a cruel way of putting it, but I guess you could see it that way. It's not a real death, though. I simply stop existing. I'm sure many people would love an instantaneous death. Okay, so next time I want to do assertive for that one. I'm actually lucky in a twisted way. But stopping me from existing isn't really the point. They could just kill me now if that's what they wanted. It's about changing what I do, so I don't do it in the future. Blah blah blah, convinced, one and the same. Alrighty. Come on, I'm right here. Do you want to know what makes me such a dangerous criminal? You spent all this time questioning, but you've not bothered to ask me what I actually did. Okay, so we're going back another memory. I remember this. I remember them talking about being overseer of a climate camp and the squalid conditions, but then something interrupts, something I don't understand. They want me to understand. They want to tell me something important. Oh, this is very interesting. Who are they? Green. They're just green. I need to tell my future self about this. I need them to understand. I remember your story. You were the overseer of a climate refugee camp. The conditions were terrible. You have already told me this. I know this sounds strange, but halfway through you telling me your story, someone interrupts the loop. They try to convince me of something, but get cut off before they can say anything. Does any of this make any sense? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. This time manipulation device might be doing something strange to your mind. Oh, does it change? Don't worry too much. This sort of tech is way beyond my understanding. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some weird side effects. So, wait, you already know I was the overseer. Did I tell you anything about the rampant crime? Yep. And... yeah, interrupt right there. Hello, hello, can you hear us? Full insight. Oh. I feel like I'm supposed to tell you something. No, not again. The memory, it's disappearing. Who's doing this? We know who's doing this to you. Just listen. Everything you were told at the start is a lie. Well, not quite. They never told you. You seem to be able to get around some of the amnesiac effects of the loop, and that worries them. Ooh. Should worry them. Feel threatened. You should feel very threatened. You probably thought they represented some national government or perhaps the UN, didn't you? Well, they don't. They actually... oh, here they come. This feels wrong. Everything feels wrong. Able interference. Let's go. Loop 2. I'm gonna try empathy next time. I think. Yeah, 11. Or do I want to go with rational? Alrighty, we're gonna skip that shit. Boop-a-doop. Ba-doop. Skip-a-dee. There we go. We've had this conversation before. I press them. I'm just wasting time. No, this time will be different. Tap your head. Not. Let's move on. Okay. In fact, why aren't you freaking out? We've done this already. Okay, they're confused and freaking out. This is the same thing, so we're gonna skip it. confusing them back on track. Do. Perfect. Oh! Insight! Like banked. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, surely that's a paradox. There we go! Ooh, nice! Exactly. It's not a paradox, though. If you're successful in convincing me, yeah, then you have changed your own time stream and prevented this version of me from existing. You'll live on as a version of me that behaves differently, that's the point. Come on, stop beating around the bush. This is a death sentence for you, isn't it? Oh, hell yeah, 2 for 2! Yeah, it is. It's not so bad, though. I just cease to exist. I'm sure many people would love an instantaneous, painless end to existence. In many ways, I'm actually quite lucky. But stopping me from existing isn't really the point. They could just kill me now, and that if they wanted. Okay. What? A single, yeah, blah blah blah. That's it. Ooh, I should have done empathy. Okay, empathy for this one. Good to know. We remember this. Do something, I don't understand. Who are they? Teach yourself, need them to understand. We skip this. Skip this. Skip this. We don't need to hear this again. Future self is confused. Something's wrong with my head. But we're not gonna worry about it, because it's fine. Already know. And, okay, so it's the third thing that I need to figure out. Change the outcome. Yes, but stop talking. They know you're here. They'll just reset the loop. Not again. Disconnecting. Are you even listening to me? Sigh, am I boring you? Do you actually want to hear what I have to say? Yes, I do. I'm not quite sure what just happened, but I really do want to hear your story. Okay, fine. It doesn't even really matter anyways. It's not like I can escape from this loop. We're stuck here with each other. Now, where was I? Yes, the corruption, the poverty, and the third thing, the sickness.